Welcome to Lights Camera Reaction. Now, in this episode, we're going to do something a little different. Call it an intermission, if you like. Hence the title is 2.5. Not very imaginative, but yeah, it works for us.
If you've watched episodes 1 and 2 of our channel, you would have heard both Richard Seymour and Jerry Jarma highlighting the need for any professional photographer to factor in their own personal work. Not working to a client's brief, but allowing yourself a bit of freedom to create and explore ideas simply for fun. So on the back of their advice, we've created a short 2-minute film purely for ourselves.
It's their fault. So while we seem to work non-stop most of the time, we really don't get the time to do our own creative work. And while it's great to be busy, don't get me wrong, something we have learned from listening to Richard and Jerry is how important shooting for yourself is. Now, personal work helps keep your enthusiasm for your craft alive, and it lets your brain wander and be creative. So it is well worth making the time to do. It also defines your individual photographic style, which is something that has helped me, which then hopefully seeps into your everyday commercial work, or at least that's the plan.
The purpose of this whole channel is to educate, inspire and motivate wherever you are with your photography. Be it simply that you're developing your own style and interest in photography, wanting to glean some of the tips from the full-time professionals, or if you're building your own business from scratch and you don't even know where to begin. Or maybe like us, we've been doing this a little while, but we're still learning something new every day. In fact, we make it our mission to do so.
So over the last 5 years, I've had periods where I found some time to do some personal work. Now this has kind of morphed into creating book covers, which I have collaborated with a former model turned stylist and now TV presenter, Emma Lightbound. That's her about there. Now we have travelled to Iceland and Portugal and New York, Seville in Spain, Nikki came to that one, shooting for fun, but ultimately shooting some creative cover ideas. Now, although these shoots don't, make us a fortune, they do help fund the trips and they allow us the freedom to travel more. This was pre-COVID, I might add. So if you head over to my website under personal work, take a look. I'll leave the description down below and it will just give you an idea of some of the book covers that we've done.
So before we discuss how we went about making the film, here is Grace, filmed by Reeve and Nikki Hazelton. We hope you like it. I personally think ideas come from chance meetings and moments in time when you least expect them. I met Grace when she booked a headshot here in the studio, and during that session I soon discovered a little bit more about her, about the degree she was studying in Greenwich, London, which happened to be specialising in contemporary dance, which is something I love. As I got more interested, I asked her if she'd be interested in doing some test shots and some short film clips. She said she was very interested in collaborating. So we wandered around the building here. We're looking for possible locations, and as I took some pictures on my phone, she began to move intuitively in various locations. I needed to show Chris. We could then build some more ideas for something more.
So zoom ahead a year, and we were inspired listening to both Richard and Jerry. So we made the time, visited a few locations not too far from home, came up with a loose framework and a storyboard, and we kind of filled in the details along the way. Now Grace was on board with our idea, and we provisionally put some dates in the calendar, and it all happened actually quite quickly. We shot it a couple of months ago.
Grace and I discussed wardrobe, styling, the concept, and music, very important, and then choreography. We wanted to keep the narrative simple and a bit ambiguous but poignant, letting the film capture the viewer and provide a little escape, even if it's just for a couple of minutes.
So I planned the shots and the kit that we would need. So I wanted to travel light, shoot on a tripod rather than a gimbal, and with only one camera and one cine lens. So we used the Fuji X-T4 for video, and it's beautiful, it's brilliant, absolutely love it. And we used a Fujinon 18-55 cine zoom, and we shot with the Eterna profile in camera just because the colours are just perfect.
Working on this film hasn't felt like work at all, and really was worth a 5 a.m. start. Although, to be honest, we wondered when we got there, because we wondered how it was going to work, because we arrived and the fog was so thick we weren't sure we could shoot at all. Little did we know it would actually work in our favour, and worked out much better than we could have imagined. It added another level of ethereal quality. We couldn't have planned that.
So we would highly recommend it, just going out there and just start creating purely for fun. You may surprise yourself, I know we did.
So next time we'll be in conversation with Graham Cann, a London and Essex-based photographer who shoots high-end fashion editorials in both digital and film, using of all things a 10x8 plate camera. We'll see you then.